Hey guys, it's me, Ellie. I just wanted to real quick today get on and share a couple things about the stress, dealing with stress thing, and that I started last week. Today, I want to talk about the stressors. It's the things that cause us stress, that cause us to react. The first one is physical. Okay, like if you're sick, if you have a cold, if you are feeling under the weather, um, if you have muscle achiness, if you have pain, like some people have a lot of back pain. I have joint achiness because of one of the meds I take, and it gets worse throughout the day. So the more active I am throughout the day, the worse the joint achiness is, and my hips and my knees and my elbows and everything. It just starts hurting by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so done. Those things can cause the stress in our bodies. And in that instance, I have not found that exercise is the way to go, unless, of course, I could get to the pool and do like aqua aerobics, because that is soothing to the joints and it's relaxing to me. But you can find the things that work for you. Um, One of the things for that kind of stress, meditation, to sit with calming music, sit with your eyes closed, and then just try to meditate and calm, and sit there and go but you know what I mean. Just try to calm yourself down, relax, deep breathing. I have found that in the caregivers world, they really emphasize throughout the day, when you're starting to feel stress, take those three really deep breaths, because we tend to, when we get stressed, we tend to get a little shallow breathing. So if you just 3 to 5 times, I usually do it 5 times, just to kind of help recenter yourself. And it's like, okay, I can tackle this next thing. Like, for instance, when a client is acting all crazy, I have one client who takes a nap, and the elderly tend to take frequent naps. She sleeps a lot, and she wakes up from sleep and she's disoriented and she wants to go home. We are in her home, but she wants to go home. And whether it's in her mind that it's her childhood home or it's her current home, I don't know. Sometimes they want to go to their childhood home. How do you respond to that? It's like, well, tell me about your home. And she's sitting there describing the bedroom that we're in. And I'm like, yeah, yes, you have a lovely home. And I don't know. The whole thing is, you got to go to their reality. But that can be very dangerous, because then she has a very high fall risk. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. Sorry. That kind of thing can be very stressful, because I don't know how to respond to make the situation better. And that's what we want to fix it. We want to, okay, I can do this, whatever. The floor is dirty, I can mop it, no problem. The dishes need to be done, I can do it, I'm on it, I got it. And it gives us a sense of satisfaction to know that we're useful, we're helpful, whatever. But when you have no idea how to fix the situation, it causes stress, because the inner gears, sorry, my head is itching. I used a new shampoo and it's like, ah! It's like a medicated whatever, because I've been having um, just a rash on my scalp. Anyway, um, that's the kind of stress, the mental stress, that those things that and like people that worry. I'm not a worrier, okay? I really am not a worrier. But things get to you, like the pandemic. Oh my God, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do this? How is this ever going to get better? What am I going to do? Are we going to have to wear masks for the rest of our lives? Are we going to have to do this and social distance for the rest of our lives? How are we going to meet a guy if we're single? My daughters are early adults, It's like, how are they ever going to meet a guy to marry and have kids? I want grandkids someday. No pressure on them, because if they're not ready, they're not ready. I was not ready until I was 30. I'm actually about 27, but it didn't happen until I was 30. So anyway, um, the physical stress includes the mental stress because it affects our body. And that mental strain, like if you're at a job and you can't figure out how to do something, or you're just under a lot of pressure at work, that really causes anxiety. That causes the reaction of, oh my God, I got to hurry. If you've got a deadline, if you've got, you got to meet so many widgets a day, they're like production jobs that you got to get X many number of products out on your line or something. It causes stress because you're like, I gotta get on it. I gotta do this. Don't interrupt me, And then there's like family stress. Maybe you're taking care of an infant. That can be very high stress. They're crying. You don't know what to do. You've changed their diaper. They've been fed. They've been burped. They puked all over you, and they're still crying. They don't have a fever, but what is wrong? And sometimes you can calm a baby down, and sometimes you can't. And it depends on the child. And it's like, my first one, I love her to pieces. She's a very high demand baby. Okay. She didn't like if I sat down. We had to be up, walking around and moving. So it was like an elevation issue. It's like, oh, okay, I'm up higher and I can see things more. And then if I would sit down and like try to rock with her or something, oh my God, you know how they do. And it's like, it took me the longest time to figure out. It's like, look, child, you're just going to have to deal with it. You just lay here and cry yourself out or whatever. And I was always trying to fix it. It's like, no, don't cry. It's okay. First time she had a bath. Oh my God. So anyway, stress of a baby. Maybe you have a toddler. Toddlers are discovering themselves. They're mobile. They can get into things. They can experiment. There's new things. I got to learn. I got to touch it. I got to feel it. I got to put it in my mouth. How does it taste? How does it feel? You got to be on it with toddlers. Maybe you have adolescents. Oh my God, bless your heart. That comes with its own set of stress. This is why, the moms have the glass of wine. It's like, it's okay. I can deal with it. It's been a long day, but I'm okay now. Only half a bottle of wine today. It's a good day. I'm joking, but it does happen. High schoolers. Oh, good Lord. They think they're adults. Some of them, they're 7 going on 18. This like, I know everything that, you get a real teenager so close to adulthood. My oldest one, 18, the day of her birthday, comes down the hall, the switch had flipped. I'm an adult. You cannot tell me what to do. She's learning now that she doesn't know everything she thinks she knows. So anyway, maybe you have a parent who is ill, in and out of the hospital. That causes stress. You're worried about them. You're concerned. Their health, Both of my parents had health issues. Both of my parents were in and out of the hospital. At one time, both of my parents were in the ICU in the same hospital at the same time. My mother was in there for, I believe she had her bypass surgery. And my father, who had an enlarged heart and his own set of issues, forgot to take his medicine and was worried about my mom. And he's 3 doors down in the ICU unit. Oh my God, what are we going to do? It's like, Mom's here. Now we got to go down. We got to visit Dad. And then it's like, oh my gosh, what do we do? Well, you can't fix it for them. You can just be there. You can pray, support, however. But parents' health issues, caring for them. My husband's mother had a stroke. Well, that has a whole set of different issues, health concerns. Had to check on her, make sure she's not having another stroke, keep up with her, make sure she's getting the things she needs, the nutrients she needs, all that stuff. we are in that sandwich generation. I'm not. Both my parents are gone, so that just helps me direct my focus towards his mom. It's like bless her heart, and it's like and then I'm concerned for her because I don't want him to go through. I know it's going to happen. I don't want him to have to go through the death of this parent and lose both of his parents. And I know it's a natural progression of life, and this is what happens. They die, we die, our kids will die someday, hopefully not before us. That's a whole nother ball game of stress and anxiety and sorrow. But then we get to the death of parents, and they're gone. There's no worried if they're going to get better. They're gone. That brings a whole lot of stress to us for various reasons. And that can be like a major life impacting stressor. On the job stress, I mentioned that. Physical stress. I think last time I mentioned that I was very nearly in a fatal accident. I mean, like, the guy missed me by 5 inches. Traffic, going to and from work, sometimes just going to the grocery store, car accidents. In our country, in the United States, we live in the Midwest. We live in a rural area. You got to go to town, get in a car. This is not a matter of hop on the bus or walk a couple blocks to the grocery store. It's 5.5 miles to the grocery store in either direction for us. So if anything happens to our transportation, it's a major stress. What do? We're stranded. It's like, yes, okay, if I was physically fit, I could walk 5 miles into town, whatever, but that doesn't mean I'm carrying a week's worth of groceries back with me, okay? And I don't have a little cart to, I'd need my lawn tractor, I guess. The riding mower with a bucket on the back, haul all my stuff. It's okay, I'm going to go into town. But not making light of it. It can be a major stressor. Finances, oh my gosh. If you are behind the curve and if you're not making, here's the poverty line, and there's a lot of people that are like just below the poverty line or just above the poverty line. Or maybe you've just overextended yourself and it's like, hot darn, I got a full income and I got money now and I can get the things I want. And the next thing you know, you're in debt. And that debt, Visa card once paid every month. And all of a sudden, instead of $100 a month, you've got $370 a month. And it's like, oh, how am I going to make my rent? So then that can cause anxiety also. That can cause stress. All these things that are stressors that contribute to how we process things, which emphasize how important it is for us to take care of us, to eat properly. It's okay to have a treat once in a while, but, Mama was right. You got to eat those vegetables, even if you have it in a smoothie. I will tell you, it's easy to add spinach to a smoothie. You don't taste it, depending on what you put in it. But like, you add a banana and mango, and you throw your spinach in there, you are not going to taste that spinach at all. You're tasting the banana and mango. Don't add any sugar because those two add enough sugar on their own. Anyway, so all these things, and I'm sure you could sit down and write, and this is a good exercise to do for you personally. Sit down and write in the past month the top 10 things that have caused you stress. Marital relations. Maybe you and your husband or your spouse have gotten into it and you're kind of at odds with each other, or you have had this in the past month and it's possible to flare up again. Like, finances can be a big thing in a marriage. Your kids, your parents, traffic, your job, the list goes on. Maybe your house is not in order and you want it this way, or maybe you're living in a construction zone doing renovations. That can cause stress because things are chaos. And chaos is actually a feminine thing, like, like French, it's male or female depending on the word. Chaos derives from the feminine. Order is male. So think about that for a while. In a way, it makes sense. In another way, it's like, this must have been, like St. Paul that made this up or something. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Next time, I am going to talk about what we can do to help ourselves deal with the stressors. The stressors of life are all around us every day. Not getting my book done is a stressor. And it's like, I have, sewing and making scrap quilts and stuff to help relieve the stress of the job. And then yet I have my computer over on this side. There it is. I worked on writing this morning for an hour. I have some place to be. I'm not going to get there in time. But anyway, I'm running a little bit behind, obviously, so I'm a little stressed now. Next time, we're going to talk about what we can do to help ourselves combat the stress. Okay? Y'all be safe. And in Ellie's words, as I used to always put on my blog, right on, my friends, right on.